to the Think Different podcast. That's right. We thought we'd open up with a bang today. And that's right. This is a video coming out of Vietnam, and they made a whole campaign on how to take care of yourself with the coronavirus. And it's one of the catchiest things you will ever listen to. I guarantee you, if I went to Jenkinson's Pavilion this weekend, and I went to Porta, I went to all the places on the Jersey Shore, and Bamboo, all of them, they will play that song to make sure they're not only spreading a message, but spreading cheer. I am Will, TLD, WV Productions, Mavada Dragon, Vafitas, along with my co-host with no most. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the man who has yet to take a vacation here in 2020. It is Vacation Tim.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, the song is super catchy. They really did a good job at it.
Absolutely. There's a great TikTok video. Go look at it. It's awesome seeing these people talking about the coronavirus. Because, of course, every episode we've had a coronavirus news article, and we're going to have another one today. But make sure you check us out on our Facebook at Think Different Podcast and at Think Different Podcast on Instagram and at Think Diff Pod on Twitter. We want to make sure you're relieving 5-star reviews everywhere that we are up and running. Tim, how was your week? And we have to know this week, Tim, what was the new item that you bought for your house?
Oh, whoa. I don't even think we bought anything. I'm trying to think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty...
Good for you.
Yeah, pretty solid weekend. We didn't buy anything.
Wow. Well,
saving that money.
Saving that money. Oh, that's good, Tim, because you're probably going on vacation.
Yeah, we're trying to save up. I want to go to Houston next during the football season so I can go see the Texans play.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about going to the Guardians game.
Oh, no. Still trying to go there, but the Houston Roughnecks.
You want to go see the New York Guardians against the Houston Roughnecks?
I'm still a Guardians fan because I just want to be a Guardians fan. But they won, so they're 2-2. Yeah.
Hey, Dallas Renegades is my backup team from the XFL only because Lance Dunbar's on there and he was a running back in the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep. So that's my backup team. All right, everybody. We want to get to the news today, and then we have a great main subject to talk about. We wanted to come up with 3 apps that me and Tim use on a daily basis, but it's not going to be the standard social media, Amazon. We wanted to find something that maybe not everybody has, and you can use in your everyday life for your creativity or just in general. So, without further ado, it is time for Tim's favorite segment. It is time for...
The news.
Breaking news.
This one's a fun one. Disney World returns fully working iPhone 11 to family weeks after the device sank to the bottom of Seven Seas Lagoon. A family from Montana has both Apple and Disney to thank for ensuring their recent vacation ended magically after all. To kind of sum up the entire story, a 6-year-old girl, yes, I'm saying a 6-year-old girl, got a brand new iPhone 11 before her trip to Disney with her family, and they took a bunch of pictures, stuff like that, and they were on their way to Magic Kingdom going over the Seven Seas Lagoon, and she dropped it on the side of the boat into the bottom of the lagoon.
Wah, wah, wah.
And she was devastated because she just lost her phone. She obviously lost all the pictures that she had taken already. She went to the Disney's Halloween party. So unfortunately, she lost it. So the next day, she told a Disney employee that her phone was lost in the lagoon. And the Disney employee actually said they actually do a deep dive. They send deep divers down there, like occasionally, to actually grab any dropped and lost items that have fallen in the lagoon.
Who would think of that?
Right? So he's like, I will make sure I try to look for it, and we'll try to get it out for you. Let me get all your contact information, and we can see if we can find it. I'll give you a call or anything, whole 9 yards. So the family left Disney, obviously with no phone. But after 2 months later, the family was getting a call from this phone number in Florida, and they all thought it was just a telemarketer, and they kept calling and calling, and the family kept hanging up. Finally, they got reach of the random uncle that was there on the trip with them, and he said, "It's Disney. Disney's calling. They have your cell phone." Mm-hmm. And they confirmed it and everything, so they sent it out to her. The phone still works,
which
is
crazy.
Amazing. And so they sent a
How
letter
many months that it was underwater?
I don't know how long it was underwater, but still, it was submerged underwater for a long period of time, I'd imagine.
It's definitely an overnight, at least overnight.
And so they were just obviously so thankful for this and, really impressed by the iPhone 11's water resistance, impressed enough that they wrote a letter to Tim Cook. And then Tim Cook, thanked the family for sharing their story and stuff like that. And then obviously offered the story to the news outlet. And that's how we got to read it today. But super cool, super cool story. Hats off to Disney for, making the magic extend outside of their trip.
How could you not want to go back? A story. This is like two really good companies coming together, making one really awesome experience.
Oh yeah,
going from a terrible situation to where they went above and beyond to not only find the phone, call the person, send it to them, and it still works. And you got it. I'm sure it was her first phone, and it's she had to really work for it to get the responsibility to get the phone. It has sparkles on the back of it. Look at, you see the phone? It has sparkles on the back.
And it's funny? They went to the Apple store because of the Tech 21 case.
It is, yeah, exactly.
So
and it's a product red, so they help pay for AIDS too.
Yeah, this
is like you think about it. AIDS plus sparkles plus Disney plus Apple equals a great member.
But no, kudos to Disney really, and obviously Apple for making the great product.
And that's gonna be a long. These are the kind of stories that somehow Apple products do. I don't know how they do it. You don't hear those stories about a Samsung going underwater, being picked up, and you don't hear about those things.
No. Yeah.
And this is truly why I think Apple is the best company, and this is why I like going to Disney. They do really give amazing experiences. I don't have to have an accident like that happen, but truly above and beyond. Very awesome job, and I think that where we hear enough stories about all the negativity in the world right now, this is a great story to talk about.
Yeah, I love it. Apple CEO Tim Cook confirms first India Apple Store will open in 2021. So at the shareholders meeting last week, he shared finally that a self-owned outlet will be put in India on India's soil. So Apple has leased a location about 20,000 to 25,000 square feet in one of Mumbai's Maker Maxity malls. It's supposed to spread over 3 floors, and this will be the first ever store in India, and it's about how they're going to expand their India retail strategy, and it's going to touch down in 2021. This is huge because right now they were depending on third-party outlets and sellers to sell their products in India, because India has this policy where you can only sell products if they're made from the country that it's within India. They can only purchase products within India.
And what did Apple do, Tim?
I don't know they just didn't. They sold to other markets, right?
Well, you also remember they've been trying to do all the manufacturing in India as well.
Oh, right, right.
So that is something they're switching. So I guarantee because of that, that's why this is happening. I don't necessarily believe it's because they wanted them there. I think it's because that now that they are manufacturing parts inside of India, because they're trying to move away from China, especially what we're going to get to soon. This is, the right step. And India is a rich country. There's a lot of rich people there, so trust me, they'll buy them.
Yeah, I didn't know that they're starting to manufacture in India. That's news to me. Is it like Foxconn?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's breaking news.
Is Foxconn moving to India? Moving industries in India?
Whoa. Now you're asking too many questions, Tim.
Right.
This is where the thing called Google will help you out.
All right, another story for that time. But another part of this story is Apple is anticipated to start online sales in India late 2020 of this year. So look out for that. I also wonder how the shipping costs will work out for that. But
I don't think it'll be that bad because the fact that, like I said, this was, by the way, this is back in October that the mass production of this was happening. The iPhone XR was actually the starting point of this, where they manufactured the XR in India. So the plan is that they are going to try to do a plant where they're going to start making a bunch of phones there and a bunch of products there to get that to happen.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I mean, I remember when
Why, you going?
No. But like when we worked at the Apple store, we always had customers come in and ask about if there's any Apple stores or any Apple technicians in, India, and we would always look at the service map where all the stores are. Remember that? Like in I forget what it was called, the app that Apple had. But you can look at a map of the world and you can see where all the Apple stores are, and you always saw the blank space on India.
That was what you're referring to is the repair map, because we would always look at a repair map to see where people can go and find stores, and you never saw anything there. But also, if you search Apple or third-party resellers, there was just parts of the country that just don't have anything.
Apple to pay for phone throttling.
Ooh, this is the one.
Yeah, Apple tentatively agreed to pay up to $500 million to settle a suit accusing it of throttling or slowing down older iPhone models to induce customers to upgrade. This will come out to about $25 a phone for any U.S. owners of qualifying iPhone models 6 and 7. The tech giant, which admitted no wrongdoing, said the slowdown of the phones occurred as a result of the temperature change.
Stop right now before you continue talking about the article. Forget about the article. Hold on a second. So, you guys paid $29 to get your battery changed because of the throttling issue. Apple's giving you back $25, basically. So they still made $4.
Yeah. On, how many? They're so smart.
All this throttling shit that was going around. And you know what? They shot themselves in the foot. They gave a discount battery. Now they got to pay $25 to customers who have this problem for iPhone 6 and 7 models. I would assume 6S as well. And by the way, anybody had iPhone 7, I'm sure you paid a lot more money for other things because your phones probably sucked. But man, it's like this was coming. The winner is the lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
That's the winner. He was the smart one to take the case. It was pretty much guaranteed he was going to win. I mean, it's stupid. It's a stupid case. I'm not going to lie. It's a stupid case. Apple did mention it inside of the update, but not to the level of saying, hey, or offering an option to turn it off.
Right.
And that's the problem. So if they would have offered an option to turn off the throttling right when they did the update, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
We would have no $29 program. We might have that, but we definitely wouldn't have this lawsuit win.
But it's also important to note that it's only for iPhone 6, 7, and possibly the 6S. So Apple still made their money off those people that got their batteries replaced with an iPhone 8, 8 Plus, etc. So it's important to know that. And it's interesting that there has to be a strategic way of why they came up with $25 per person.
Yes.
Is it going to be similar to like the Red Bull thing where they send you a check? Remember the Red Bull lawsuit? It was like you either get a 6-pack of Red Bull or you get like $6 or $10.
Yeah, that's how
back.
they do it. It's going to be a $25 gift card to Apple Store. Watch.
That'd be wild.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
That'd be cool, though.
Oh, of course. It makes the most sense to do that.
What do I hear? Will, do you hear something? I hear the coronavirus, and they are...
Wash now.
Apple temporarily closes some retail stores in Italy due to the coronavirus outbreak.
Breaking coronavirus.
So,
breaking news.
If you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, Italy has had the worst outbreak of coronavirus in Europe so far. So they're planning on closing the Apple Oreo Center in the province of Bergamo, which will be closed on March 7th and 8th, according to their website and the Italian government. The Italian government has also announced that all retail stores will be closed for that weekend. So it's going to be hurting a lot of businesses for this quarter. As of right...
Wash your goddamn hands, man.
Exactly.
That's a simple solution, people. 20 seconds. You know what my wife said? She said, count your ABCs all the way down while you're washing your hands, and that's your 20 seconds.
Yeah. My girlfriend said today that you can sing the chorus of one of the Lizzo songs, and that's the 20 seconds that you should wash your hands. But yeah, this is pretty serious. So as of right now, there is a total number of 79 people that have died in Italy alone of the coronavirus outbreak. and there is over 85,000 cases worldwide.
Is that crazy?
And about 3,500 people that have died.
That's a lot of cruise ships that messed us up. It's flying cruise ship. Russia
flying,
seems to be doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's really going to Russia, though. I mean, to be honest. So, but hey, you know what? Guys, Corona news, baby. It just keeps coming every single week. And I figure, you know what? Until this coronavirus goes away, we were going to guarantee that we are going to have one coronavirus article every single one. Just to break it in your head to wash your hands. Just like the video said in the beginning.
And that's the news.
Yeah, so we want to thank you very much for joining us for the Corona News. We hope you guys enjoyed all the articles. Thank you to Disney. And you know what the worst part is? What happens if the coronavirus hits Disney World?
Oh, it's
Disney
done.
World has to close.
Done for.
That's it. You mess with America personally when you destroy the greatest place on earth. If you are sick, don't go to the most magical place on earth, because if you start infecting Mickey Mouse, that's it. I'm taking this extremely personal, and I will swear to God, I will find a way. Movado Dragon TLD will find a way to wrestle coronavirus to the mat. 1, 2, 3. And then after I'm done, I'm going to wash my hands. All right.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's get to...
Oh, sorry.
What? No, go, Tim.
I was just going to say, apparently the self-quarantine period is about 2 weeks. So if you feel like you have the symptoms of coronavirus, you should self-quarantine yourself for 14 days at least, where you don't leave the house, you don't do anything. Stay in your room.
And on top of that, they told me to bring home my work computer every single day, because if the day comes that our entire work is infected, and we know this, Tim, because remember at Apple, we had something like this.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We had a sickness that infected almost 60 to 70% of our staff, at least at some point.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, there was a lot of call-outs because of a sickness that went around work, and no one would stay home.
People got to get paid.
I don't care. That's what sick time is for. We all get it. If you don't use your sick time for other stupid reasons, maybe you would have some sick time when you're sick. Let's get to our next segment here. We are going to talk about the top 3 used apps. So, Tim, you will have a list. I will have a list. And we're going to discuss what these apps do and how they can benefit you going forward. So, it's time to talk about the 3 most used apps in our life. And none of them have to do with coronavirus. It's TLD. Yeah. 4-time tag team champion. I'm cuddly. I'm cute. I'm a champion. All right, Tim, you're first. You got the app of love. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to start it off. It's this app called Meter, Meater. So I have this. It was from a startup company I received as a gift for Christmas, and it's a wireless thermometer where it connects automatically to your iPhone, and you select what meat you'd like that you're cooking. So whether that's like it gives you option of pork, fish, steak, chicken, whole 9 yards. It gives you everything that you could want, that you want to, gather a temperature of. You can choose what kind of cut it is. So like for steak, you can choose like between sirloin, T-bone, porterhouse, stuff like that. Then you could decide what temperature you want. You can decide what like if you want medium rare, medium. You do a whole bunch of things, and it keeps track of all of your past cooks. So it keeps like a log of all the meats that you've cooked over time. And then what happens is you put the thermometer in the meat, obviously, and then you just leave it in there. It tells you what time it's going to be ready. So it tells you, okay, it's going to take 25 minutes to cook to get to that temperature. It tells you it warns you when there's 5 minutes left. It gives you the accurate temperature gauge every time it moves up and down. It's pretty awesome. It's so you don't have to keep opening up the oven and stuff like that. You never have to really do that now. If you have a grill, I'm excited to use it for grilling season, because now I could just put the burgers out on a grill, close the lid, hang out, not have to keep leaving my party or the people I have over to check on the grill and check on the meats, on the steak and stuff like that. So it's really cool, and it connects via Bluetooth inside this app. Really awesome. I'm very happy with it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, check out meter.com. I'm on there right now, and it's pretty impressive. It even tells you when to rest your meat, how long you should rest it.
Yep.
Like, that's very specific. So that's a little thing with meat. You always have to let it rest for a certain amount of time. And I love that. I love the idea of this app. In fact, this would be a great app for me to get for my birthday. I think this, because I love cooking on a grill as well. And now that you have a grill because you're living in the home.
Exactly.
In fact, do you have a good grill? Do you have a really good grill?
So I don't have a grill yet. I got to buy one.
Oh, my God. Really? That's the next thing you could buy next week for your home.
Maybe, yeah. Because they're probably cheap right now because it's not summertime.
Exactly. That's why you got to do that. So, yeah, love that app. Good idea. I think that's a very unique app. From what I see here, it is $69.99.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty
which
affordable.
I don't think is too bad. They have in fact, they even have one that's like a longer meter. They have like different meters too.
Yeah, they have different sizes and stuff like that, and different things that they could do. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I use it every day. Except when I'm cooking pasta.
Do you have to charge that?
So it charges in its own little case. So every time that you're not using it after you clean it, you just put it in its own little charging case. And then anytime you want to use it again, you just remove it from its charging case. It's like an AirPod.
I like it. All right. Well, this is an app a lot of people probably have heard of, but I thought this is very important, especially for Tim, because I taught him how to do this. I went with an app called Mint. Now, Mint is a way to keep track of your personal finance and money. So what you do is you put all the accounts that you have online, from credit cards to mortgages to electricity to your phone bills. You put it all in this one app, and it calculates everything for you. So an example right now, I have my 401k in there, my stock in there. It tells me my value of my home based on the information I wrote up for it. And it's password protected. You can use Face ID to unlock it. And you can see what you're spending on certain things per month. It actually organized everything from my groceries that I spent. So far this month I spent $148 in groceries. And you can calculate that for every month. And it's a good way to know if you're paying all your credit bills on time, if you get charged any kind of fees. It's really, really great. And it really helps you budget everything. I use this to budget my entire home. I'm the man in charge of the money in the house, and this is a great way to look at all the money you got from all your accounts, because you know what? The goal is everyone needs to be debt-free.
Yeah, and I like how, like Will mentioned, he turned me on to this app, so I recently have just downloaded it. I like how you can put your investments into it. You can see your net worth, which is kind of sad. You can see all your upcoming bills, which is awesome. So they even have an integrated calendar that can integrate with your iCalendar that allows you to put reminders when to pay your bills. Yep,
that's a good feature. And another thing gives you a free credit score rating.
Free credit score?
Which I think is all a bunch of crap anyway with a credit score.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other story. But that and then you can put your own bills in there. So bills that you can't put, like for instance, I pay a water bill every quarter.
Yep.
And it's only done by check. There's no way to track that. So I was able to put that in here, and then even if the amount's not the same, I could just override it and put the right amount in there. So you're able to keep track of everything. It's really awesome. And I really recommend trying it. I've tried other apps out there. They just don't do it like this one does. So Mint is a good way. And yes, it's very big on security.
Yeah, it's backed by Intuit.
Yeah, backed by Intuit. So it's a very trusted source. So mint.com or download the app. It's completely free.
The only thing that I don't like is it only updates every 24 hours.
Yes, you do have to refresh it, and it will take time, but you have to remember it's calculating a lot of websites, and that all depends on the sites too. They have to refresh that.
Yeah, and Wells Fargo is really bad at that. I only have a problem with Wells Fargo, I figured out, and I just don't know if it's because it's Wells Fargo. But all my other accounts refresh really nicely.
Like TD Bank does that pretty well with me. I honestly think it does a pretty good job. So there's other sites that give me a hard time. Like the Kohl's credit card. Every time I open the app, I have to like revalidate myself. It's really annoying.
Oh, that is
so
annoying.
it depends on the person.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. But if you go with the most popular ones like Amex, Chase, TD Bank, those are the ones that I think work very well. I don't have a Wells Fargo. I only have a credit card, but that's it.
Yeah, I even have my student loans in there, so that's really cool to see. Well, not cool because it's depressing, but you know.
Yeah, I don't got none of those. Yeah. Wash. No.
All right, so my next app that I use frequently during the baseball season is called the MLB Ballpark app. So it's kind of like an Apple Wallet app for your baseball tickets. So you can actually track every baseball stadium that you've ever visited and the tickets that you have. So you can load the tickets in, and then you can check in at the stadium, and then it will log all the history of all the stadiums that you've ever visited. So far, I've logged in this app 4 different ballparks that I visited. And I am a partial season ticket owner to the New York Yankees, so my account directly connects into my MLB Ballpark app. So all of my tickets for the season are loaded right into my wallet in my MLB Ballpark app. So all I have to do is when I arrive to the stadium, it recognizes by my location that I'm there, very similar to the Apple Wallet app, and it automatically pulls my ticket up for me. And it's awesome because Yankee Stadium has NFC readers, so I don't even have to open up my phone. All I have to do is bada bing, bada boom, tap the receiver, and I am in the stadium as easy as possible. I could buy tickets from here. I can look at the Yankees schedule. So if I want to know about an upcoming game, if I want to know about their promotions, it's all built into this app. There's a dining guide. There is the map and directory. I could find different seats in a stadium. I can talk to a virtual assistant that is from Yankee Stadium that can answer any of my questions. It's really cool. I use it exclusively. I sell all my tickets through here. So if I wanted to sell my ticket and I needed to forward it to somebody, I do it through this app. Somebody told me about it and I was like, I've never heard of that app. And then I got onto it and now it's awesome. And I know with Mets Stadium, Citi Field, there's a specific entrance that you can enter and bypass the entire long lines of entering the stadium if you use the MLB Ballpark app.
Yeah, so that's the benefits. They got to find more benefits, though, it's not just convenience for me. Like something like that where it's like you get an exclusive VIP entrance into the park, or they give you something for free. Like, how they always have those like free like things you get for going to the park that day?
Yeah.
Like something like that
stuff,
that they do just for those people.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
And it's pretty cool. I mean, so then all my tickets that I've ever purchased are in this app. And so, it's just like a memory kind of thing that I could see at all the games that I've visited and all the stadiums I've been to and stuff. So I love the app. I highly recommend it. Their support's great. I was actually on the phone with them today because I was having trouble linking with my account just because the new season's around the corner. And yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. I don't really watch baseball. All right. So now let's talk about another app. Now, this is an app that we actually use, and you're the one that turned it on to me, and that is Hootsuite. It's a social media app. Now, I didn't want to do any big social media apps, but this one I thought was very unique, and it's good for me as a business too. So the idea of this is that you can create, schedule, plan, publish, and monitor any of your audience engagements from anywhere at any time. So let's say that you are using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can post the same thing on all 3 at the same time, and you can schedule it at the time that you want. You could draft posts up. You could actually see, what audience you want to go to, where, you can monitor your likes, your mentions, all in one area. The good thing is they're giving this away for free for 3 social media apps.
Yep.
And then you have to pay, I believe, $29 a month, which is a lot of money, to schedule it. But if you're like a celebrity or you have a business and you got to spread the message out to everywhere at the same time, this app does it. And we use this app. In fact, every time we post something, you'll see it says Hootsuite underneath every one of our posts. I'm sure it's something that the reason why we're not paying for that, we probably would go away.
Yeah.
But Hootsuite was a really good app. Does your company use that?
Yeah, so that's how I found out about it, actually. So in my old job, I was turned on to it, and then we used it exclusively. And then in my new current position, we also use Hootsuite. So that's how I found out about it. So when Will and I were obviously starting this podcast, I knew that I was responsible for a lot of the social media stuff, and Hootsuite was the first application I turned to because I don't want to worry about posting a picture in 3 different places and trying to get it all done at the same time, where I could just go on Thursday night or whenever I had to schedule it and load it. I can schedule what time I want it to set for and not have to worry about it and automatically post for me. So it's awesome. And yeah, so you can only do up to 3 social media accounts at the moment. They used to do a thing where, and now because it's become so popular, they got rid of it, where you can only do up to 30 posts per account. But they've gotten rid of that, and now they've had like this whole freemium model where you can do up to 3 social media accounts on it.
And again, they're trying to target the business people because I think they realize that they're not getting enough engagement with just giving 30 away. You should. I mean, I was surprised even 2. I think would have got the point across.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And what's cool is you can manage. You can even reply. Like, say you're having a lot of engagement, like on Twitter and stuff like that. You can even actually go in Hootsuite and reply in there, and it's as if you're on the Twitter app, but it's just through Hootsuite. So that's pretty cool. And you can see everything that's trending and whatnot. It's awesome.
Yeah, my good friend Lisa Ann actually likes that app. She uses it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Look it up.
I know what you talk about.
All right.
It's caught off guard.
Yeah, I know you were.
So my third and final app
last one?
Is called Photoshop Mix. So it's an app made by Adobe. Obviously,
really,
makes
that's
Adobe
a shocker.
Photoshop. And this is a great app for if you need to do like on the go, mobile editing. You're trying to make a meme or something, or you want to Photoshop something of your friends. I use it all the time, almost on a weekly basis. When you get to go in here, you can upload an image, you can take a picture and stuff like that. You can add text. You can obviously do the Photoshop stuff of cutting out different images and pasting on other images. It's basically like Photoshop at your fingertips. It's pretty awesome. I use it all the time, especially during like the football season. I'm in a fantasy football league where we make a lot of memes about the theme. So like the last year's theme was The Office. So I made a bunch of different memes about The Office and my fantasy football team. But it's awesome. It's completely free, so anyone can use it, and really easy to use. And yeah, I have nothing. It's a great app, and I'm so happy that it's free.
Would you say that the cut is pretty good as far as like cutting the certain things out on the scene?
So if you zoom in, you have to zoom in really, really close to do it, and it could take a while. But if you're looking just to, quickly do something, it also has an auto select feature where you can like auto select the subject and it'll try to do its best to cut it all out. But I'd say it's pretty good for like a mobile, they're understanding that you're doing it for
I would like that
with
for
your
green
finger and
screens.
stuff.
I think for green screens that would be terrific.
Yeah.
So I for wrestling I do a lot of green screen work, and for something like that on my mobile phone, to quickly cut something out, put it in the right set. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so it's completely free, so I think everyone should download it if you just want to, mess with your friends and make stuff. I make stuff for work all the time on it, just to, create work banner. When I got a part-time job at the Trent Thunder with one of my buddies, and I photoshopped us on the Trent Thunder field because we're doing grounds crew for it, and I sent it to a bunch of my friends of us on the field doing work. So yeah, it's a fun app.
All right, and then my last one actually also has to do with creativity, and that is Double Take. This is the app that transforms your iPhone into a multicam studio, allowing you to capture video from 2 cameras at the same time. Now, this is going to work for anything that's an iPhone 11 all the way up to a 10R. And this allows you to record 2 cameras simultaneously at the same time, and then you could pick the view that you want. So what's great about this is that you can decide what frame you like, and you could switch between the frames, but also it captures both frames at the same time. So when I'm recording a wedding and I want my wide angle view and I want a view that is maybe like the telephoto one, I could have both of them record at the same time, and then I could choose to mix in between them.
But it has to be 2 iPhones?
No, this is one iPhone using the lenses on your camera. Remember, you have 4 lenses to choose from. So I could take the wide-angle lens and the telephoto, record those 2, and then I can record it, and then I have it later on.
Wow. So you can have same shot, but just different angles of that shot.
Correct. So think about it. The wide-angle does a good job focusing on everything, but then you could tell it to focus. You could tell one camera to focus closer on one person.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, it's completely free. You can also do a split screen effect that's saved on one single video, so you can have like a split screen. So if we're recording a split screen effect, we could do that easily on one phone, which is awesome. I think that's great for YouTubers to do that. You can lock your focus and exposure on both cameras during the multicam capture, which is really awesome too, because I like that you can have the focus set up correctly. Now it's 24, 25, and 30 frames, so there's no 60 frames options, and it is 1080p. So please make sure that you're aware of that. So if you're looking for a certain Kodak or you're looking for a certain quality, there is some limitations.
Is it easy to use? Can a novice photographer use it? Or?
Absolutely. It's all touchscreen. So right now, I'm in the camera frame and I have 4 buttons to choose from. And then when I go, I can see the 4 angles I could choose from. The ones in color in the frame I could choose, and the ones that are gray are not being chosen. And then all I got to do is choose the 2 I want, hit the frame rate that I want, hit confirm, and then I could start recording. And then I have my main camera, and then my lower thirds, the other camera, and then I can just start recording. And then there's a save section that shows both recordings in the same area.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a tremendous app. It's free to do, and I think for YouTubers, it's perfect for that, especially if you got that wide angle.
Sure.
That iPhone 11 especially, because of the wide angle and the zoom lens I think for iPhone 11 Pro, it's like one of the best tools. For the next wedding that I choose I'm going to use that feature.
Now, but that's not an Apple certified app. It's not a.
Well, Apple, they showcased this on the stage during the keynote.
Sure.
And the crowd was like, wow. Because if you ever go back and watch it, look at Double Take's part of it. There's a lot of those that go up on those keynotes are boring. A lot of them are just like fun games, blah, blah, blah. This is the one that I can't remember the last time I saw something stuck out like this one.
That's awesome.
So that is our show today, Tim. We gave a lot of advice. We talked about coronavirus.
Yeah.
We talked about how the most magical place on earth saved an iPhone. I think we're done for today.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. So make sure you join us again. We are on all platforms, like tons of platforms. You can check us out on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Amazon Music. We are everywhere. Anywhere there's a podcast, you can download this episode. We come out with new episodes every Friday, and please check out some of the older episodes. A lot of you guys like to go back in the past and check out all the other episodes because a lot of our content is always fresh. Even though we talk about a lot of news, we always have one main subject that we talk about, and that you can listen to anytime you want.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you, Tim.
I'm Tim Santoro, and I support this message.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We want to thank you for joining us for the Think Different podcast. And before we go, there's only one way we could go out, and that is to go wash our hands. Wash.
Peace out.